Teachers, has the dumb student ever turned out to be secretly smart? I taught 9th grade computer science for 12 years, and I thought I'd seen every type of student. Then I met Jordan. This kid failed every single quiz I gave him. When I'd explain coding basics, he'd stare out the window like I was speaking gibberish. His assignments came back blank or with maybe 2 lines of broken code that didn't work. The other teachers would joke about Jordan during lunch. That kid can barely turn on a computer, they'd say. How'd he even get into your class? I started to agree with them. Jordan would sit in the back corner, scribbling in this beat-up notebook and nodding his head to music nobody else could hear through his earbuds. He never caused problems, though. Never talked back or disrupted class. Just sat there like a ghost, completely checked out from everything we were doing. I figured he was just waiting for the semester to end so he could drop out. Then finals week happened, and our grading system completely crashed. Every grade from every class gone. The IT department spent 3 days trying to figure out what went wrong. Teachers were panicking because we had to submit final grades by Friday, and it was already Wednesday. The IT guys said it looked like a corrupted database, but they couldn't recover anything. They were talking about manually recreating grades from physical papers, which would take weeks. The principal was freaking out, talking about extending the semester. Thursday after school, I was still in my classroom trying to piece together grades from old quizzes when Jordan walked up to my desk. He looked nervous, fidgeting with that notebook he always carried. "Mr. Hutchins," he said quietly, "I think I can fix the grading system." I actually laughed. This kid who couldn't write a basic loop was offering to solve a problem that stumped our entire IT department. "Jordan, that's really nice of you to offer, but this is pretty complicated stuff." But he didn't walk away. He pulled out this old USB drive and said, "Can I show you something?" I figured why not. What's the worst that could happen? Jordan plugged in his drive and opened up this program I'd never seen before. The interface was sleek, professional looking. He typed in a few commands, and suddenly data started flooding the screen. "What is this?" I asked, staring at rows and rows of information. "It's a backup of the school's entire grading database," Jordan said casually, like he was talking about the weather. "I've been running mirror scripts on your server for the past year." My blood went cold. "You've been what?" Jordan started clicking through folders, and I saw every teacher's gradebook, every student's information, everything. "I wasn't trying to cheat or anything," he said quickly. "I just wanted to see if I could access it. The security was pretty basic, so I set up this background process to clone everything." I should have been angry. I should have called security. Instead, I just stared as Jordan launched his restoration script. Within 20 minutes, every single grade was back exactly where it belonged. "How long have you been doing this?" I asked. Jordan shrugged. "Since October. I was bored in class, so I started poking around the network during lunch. Your server architecture is actually pretty interesting once you get past the firewall." I sat down heavily in my chair. "Jordan, if you can do this, why are you failing my class?" He looked genuinely confused by the question. "School's too slow," he said. "You spend 3 weeks teaching loops when I figured them out in an hour. I wanted to build something real instead of making calculators and guessing games." The next day, I brought Jordan to the principal's office. Not to get him in trouble, but to show what he'd done. The principal didn't know whether to expel him or give him a medal. The IT director was embarrassed that a 15-year-old had completely bypassed their security. In the end, they offered Jordan a part-time job with the school's tech team. He started fixing problems that had stumped the adult staff for months. His grades never improved because he kept skipping the boring assignments, but that didn't matter anymore. 2 years later, Jordan dropped out of high school to work full-time at a cybersecurity company. At 17, he became their youngest employee ever. He now makes more money than I do, finding holes in corporate networks before hackers can exploit them.